Spears Fire Operational Update, Monday, July 22nd, 2024.
Good morning, folks. Mike Bertinoli, Planning Operations for Great Basin Team 3. Here to talk about the operational update on the Spears Fire for today, July 22nd, 2024. So I'll start kind of big picture on the fire, and what I'll get into is if you looked up on the hill yesterday, you saw a little bit more smoke than you've seen in previous shifts. So I'll talk a little bit about why that is. If you remember back to when this fire started, we had a pretty good rainstorm right after that essentially parked the fire, sat it down. You didn't see a lot of smoke. But what it did was it left a lot of unburned pockets of fuel on the fire grounds. That makes it really tough for our firefighters to go in and put what we call direct hand line around all those spots, just because it's choppy and there's a lot of tiny spots on the ground. So what we do is we do an indirect firing operation, and we use fire to draw all of those pockets together so that firefighters have a really clean line to work off of. So that's what we saw yesterday. The warming and drying conditions gave us an opportunity to create a very clean black line on this alpha fire edge here. So that's kind of big picture. Let's dive into the fire. That firing operation you saw yesterday was on the north side of the fire. There will be a continuation of that today, and I anticipate a little bit more fire on the ground from our firefighters in a block working out to the east. So that's Division Alpha. Division Foxtrot is this piece of ground over here on the east side of the fire. We've done a lot of work in here over the last week to secure spots, put in direct hand line, and begin to do what we call mop-up, which is where we go in and stir fuels and just make sure that fire is very cold. Those operations will continue on the entire east side of the fire today, and anticipate having this whole chunk of ground tied together today with a complete piece of line. So stay tuned for more on that and see if we get the whole thing finished. Working back around to the west, we've got our piece of ground called Division Zulu. We've been very successful on this part of the fire with direct line construction, and we're at a point now where we're using water well interior to the fire, think 30 to 100 feet in, stirring and just killing all of the smokes along that portion of the ground. So Division Zulu is looking very good right now. That takes care of the fire. I'm going to move down south and talk about our contingency line real quick. We're putting an indirect line into where our contingency group is, and the reason we're doing that is if our fire picked up, the greatest impacts or chance of impacts we think would come from the north to the south. What we want to do is put a big break in there using natural meadows that exist there and heavy equipment to create a pretty wide fire break to give firefighters a place to get a foothold and use indirect firing to stop the spread of that fire. So we're getting in place for that. Additionally, we found some historic structures in there, some values. We used a couple of engine crews to go in and do preparation around those structures, which is just essentially removing vegetation. In case the fire comes, we'll be able to protect those values at risk. That's the end of the report. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank you.